Guy. Please do me a solid. I need a smartphone with good RAM, good ROM, and good cameras that can play games like PUBG, Football, PES. Budget? 70k should be enough now. 70,000 naira. That's it should be around that amount. RAM, ROM, camera, battery, 70,000. Yes. It's 2024 and I still get questions like that, which is wild. Honestly, no disrespect. It's wild that I still get asked questions like that. RAM, ROM, camera, battery, game. In that order. And you think that in 2024 that like all of these things, personally I thought when I started learning about smartphone specs in 2018, I felt like, by 2024 like we would have advanced. But these questions still keep repeating themselves. So I want to address them one after the other. Now, when most people ask for RAM, I need phone with big RAM, what they are subconsciously asking without putting it into the proper words is that I need a phone with good performance. I've already done videos on performance. I did those last year. You can check. You can check for those. I think I'll leave, I don't know, let's just put it like that. I'll leave stuff up here for you to, cards up here for you to check. Now, when people ask about RAM, I want phone with good RAM. They assume that like good RAM translates to good performance. When we say performance, we're talking about how well the smartphone will handle apps, will perform with apps, games, and other software, other attendant software. So when they say give me good phone with good RAM, that means the phone is going to not slag, the phone is going to not slow down or freeze up, and the phone can load up apps and games and then run them pretty smoothly, pretty 30 FPS-ish type of like gameplay. But RAM is not it. It's why I always tell people, if you want to buy phone, if you're getting a phone, if you want to buy phone and like performance is important to you, you should learn SoCs. And I have several videos on SoCs here on the channel, as well as SoC performance that you should check out. I think I've even done videos comparing SoCs, right? So what that means is that you should go and check. It's very easy. Flagship, mid-range, budget, entry level. Where does my budget fall in? Because if an SoC is within a certain range, you know the performance to expect. Entry level are only good for Candy Crush, Zoom, phone calls, WhatsApp, Facebook. That's it. Budget can play can play many games for Android and so on. They can play them at low settings, mid settings. That's your Helio G85s and your Unisoc T606. Then you now have lower mid-range, and then you now have the Snapdragon 685, Snapdragon 732G, Helio G99, and then you now see upper mid-range, Snapdragon 4 Gen 2, Dimensity 8020, and so on. Like, you just keep going higher. So it depends on the level. I have a list of top 100 smartphone SoCs for 2024, which I would encourage you to go check out. It's not RAM that gives you the performance. RAM helps performance, especially with multitasking. RAM helps performance, but if you do not have the SoC, the processor on board to be able to carry that performance, you are wasting your time with RAM. Especially when I see people do go and buy Unisoc T606 phones, for example, with 12 gig RAM or with 8 gig RAM or 12 gig RAM, and then they want to run eFootball at high settings 60 FPS. But yeah, you're going to be disappointed heavily. And then now they take us to ROM. Please, for smartphones, there is no such thing as ROM. ROM simply means read-only memory. It's a type of memory where the user is only allowed to read what is on the memory. They're not allowed to write. They're not allowed to modify it. That's what we call a ROM. We don't use ROM. We use storage. It's either eMMC 5.1 or UFS 2.1, 2.2, 3.1, 4.0. At this point, I think 4.0 is the flagship right now. So you either get eMMC or UFS storage. So storage is 64 gig. I don't think anybody should be using a phone with 32 gig, not in this era. 64, 128, 256, which is what I currently use, 512, 1 terabyte. So that's storage. It in this day and age, especially now that games are getting bigger and heavier, and everything is just one kind. Please, you should be getting a phone with a lot of storage. And then that could take us to the gaming part. Yes, the gaming part. The SoC that you're willing to buy on the phone, the price that you're willing to spend, is what is going to determine the type of games you are going to be able to play. If you buy a budget, if you buy an entry-level processor with a Helio G37 and you want to play games, just remove gaming out of your mind. You're going to be very disappointed. Unisoc T606, Helio G85, yes, now you can play games at mid to low settings. The same thing can also be said when you get something with a Snapdragon 685 or a Helio G88, for example. Around that same performance level, mid to low settings, if you can up your budget up a bit and get something with a Helio G99, Snapdragon 732G, Dimensity 6100, Dimensity 6020 and stuff, then maybe you can play games here at mid settings, standard mid settings. Like there's really some games will play at high settings, but most of them mid settings. You can then play emulator games, PS1, PS2, and so on and so forth. And you play some light Nintendo Switch games, emphasis on light, don't go and borrow your phone kind of stuff. But that one is for that one. Then when you want to talk about like the real games, if you want to go hard and then play PUBG at high settings, you want to play Fortnite, you want to play Grid Auto Sports, you want to play Call of Duty Warzone when it comes out, you should be willing to get something in the upper mid-range, premium mid-range level. Something with, say, Snapdragon 4 Gen 2, for example, Snapdragon 7 Gen, Dimensity 8020, something in that range. Dimensity 7300, Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 kind of stuff. Like you should be willing to like cough up money, because right now as it is, the economy is bad, phones are more expensive. Because I thought phones are more expensive. But that's the world we live in. I don't sell phones, I don't make the prices, I just report what I see. And then that will take us to cameras. Again, the SoC you have on board, there's a part of the SoC called the ISP, image signal processor. Nowadays, we pair image signal processors with NPUs. That's a neural processing units, which is, I think my guy Craig Adebanji is a contributor on my website and he works with me, has done excellent work on that. And we'll be working on a video and maybe I'll be presenting it soon. But nowadays, you now have ISPs and NPUs together. The NPU is an AI accelerator that takes AI software and then runs it very fast, and that's when you take pictures, and then the pictures actually look better than the scene you're looking at in real life, because the AI has looked at it and said, no, adjust this, tone this color up, tone this place down, put HDR here, put HDR there, bam, picture appears in front of your phone, and you're like, wow. How do you think that smartphones with their tiny cameras can take pictures that rival those of DSLR cameras with, like, those ones have big lenses, this one has very tiny, it's because of the AI on board, ISP and NPU, and these things are tied to the type of SoC you've got there. If you are buying something with an entry level or a budget SoC, you may not find an NPU there. There could be an ISP. Some of them don't have ISPs, so we'll start with the ones that have ISPs may not have NPUs. But when you are moving from like the lower mid-range and above, then you start to see NPUs. For AI, the higher you go, the better the NPU performance. So these are the questions. These are the intelligent questions you should be asking. Not, I want buy phone. Which one is RAM? Give me RAM. Give me ROM. Give me camera. You have to like check out all these things. Sometimes it's not even because I think I'm very glad that the whole megapixel myth has been debunked a long time ago. So I won't really go into that. I think I've done a video on that. I should be linking that to up here as well, or in the comments or description, whatever. But that one is for that one. I just want you people to know that when you're going out to buy a smartphone, these are the questions you should be asking yourself. It's not enough to say I want big RAM, or I want ROM, or I want does it play games? Does it take pictures? Or no? You should be asking yourself, what is the SoC inside and what level of performance is this SoC capable of? And you should be getting nothing less than 4 gigs of RAM. Nothing less than 4 gigs of RAM. 4 gigs of RAM is the new 2 gig RAM. I keep saying this all the time. And then if you get a decent SoC and you get a decent RAM size, so to speak, and then you get storage of at least 64 gig, preferably 128 gig, you are set for the next 2-3 years, depending on how long you use your smartphone. So that's it. That's the questions you should be asking if you're going to buy a new smartphone. As you know, my name is Jeffrey. This has been the Inquisitive Universe, and I will see you in the next one. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell while you're at it. See you in the next one.